So you guys are all here to see my PlayStation 3 collection video, and let me get started with the first game, which I was actually just playing right now, and that's Ratchet and Clank Tools of Destruction. And I was just playing this, and I was really noticing how good the graphics were, and I was also noticing it's very subtle, but the music in this game is really good. It's got like a... It almost reminds me of Ocarina of Time. I don't know why. It's just that certain kind of upbeat, good music, you know? So, it's a really good game. On the back it says it looks like a Pixar movie. It's almost true. The cutscenes aren't as good as the in-game graphics, but the in-game graphics do look really good. It's got a lot of really cool and unique weapons, and the humor in the game as well isn't too bad. I was actually laughing a little bit. So if you're looking for a game that's got some humor in it, it's childish humor, but it's still pretty funny. So Ratchet and Clank Tools of Destruction, really good Ratchet and Clank game, and it's probably the cheapest one right now, so if you're going to get one, maybe go with this one. Next up is the God of War collection, and I just started playing this one a couple days ago, and I've gotten a little bit into God of War 1, haven't started God of War 2 yet, so I'm going to be finishing these both up and then playing 3. So let me talk about the graphics being upscaled from the PS2 ones. So if you compare them side by side, God of War 1 with the PlayStation 3 God of War 1, it looks... You can notice a difference, but it's not like night and day where it's like God of War 3 graphics on here. There is a difference in that they do look nice, but that also is partially because when God of War and God of War 2 first came out, they both had good graphics back then, so they still look good now in 720p. So if you're going to be playing God of War 3, or if you ever wanted to get into the God of War series, this is a good one to start with if you have a PlayStation 3. Next is Hazed, which is a mediocre shooter. That's about the best I can say about it. It's very mediocre in all aspects, single player and multiplayer. Nothing really just stands out in the game, and nothing is really super bad to make it a horrible game. So it's a cheap shooter, let's put it that. Next is one that I do not have the case because I got it at a garage sale for very, very cheap, under $5, and that was Infamous. I had to get it for, I think I paid $3, but I didn't have a case. So for Infamous, you got some really good graphics, and you got really cool open world-ish game, and it's really fun. You can be good or bad. You can kill people, save people, and depending on what you do, affects your player. So like if you're really bad, you get red lightning. If you're a good person, you get blue lightning, and other things along with that, but those are just basic ones. I haven't played it too much, so I can't really say a lot about it, because I don't want to say something wrong, but that's Infamous. I'm going to be playing it some more. Next is Warhawk. I only got game only. I didn't get the headset pack, or the Bluetooth headset pack, because I don't really know anyone on my PlayStation friends list that has a mic, because everyone plays on the Xbox. But anyways, back to Warhawk. It's a online-only game where it's a huge open-world map. I don't know the exact number of players off the top of my head, but it is 32-player online. So it's 16 versus 16 on a huge map, and there's like planes and tanks and troops and infantry guys running around. It's really hectic and really fun. If you have a bunch of friends to play with that know what they're doing, they don't necessarily have to have mics, but if you have a bunch of friends that know how to play it, it can be really fun. So if you're going to be getting this, I'd recommend having a few friends to play with. Warhawk's pretty good though. Next is Resistance Fall of Man. It's a launch first-person shooter. It's got like 40-player online, I believe. Yeah, 40-player online, and it's kind of like an alternate timeline. So it takes place right around World War II era, and maybe a little bit after World War II. And you'll notice the architecture of like 1950s, like a city or something, and you'll notice the guns are pretty familiar, for the humans at least. And then you'll see like alien stuff taking over, and it's just really cool. It's a really nice first-person shooter for the PlayStation 3. So go check it out because it's really cheap. And along with Resistance comes Resistance 2. I did get the collector's edition, and I was informed that after I bought this, I didn't even notice until after I bought it that I had the regular game case inside. Curse you, GameStop. So Resistance 2 is a better overall game than Resistance 1, so if I had to say, if you're going to get one, you're like, which one should I get? Realistically, I don't even know what the story is, to be honest. I played through a bunch of the first one and the second one, and if I went to tell you, I couldn't really tell you. But I know the basic plot points, but I don't know like major details about it, like I would know things about Gears of War or something like that. I just know that the Chimera are there and you're killing them and stuff like that. So I would definitely recommend Resistance 2 over Resistance 1, especially because the online in here is better paced than in the first one. You got more players. The online in here is vastly improved over the first one. I could barely play the first one because I just couldn't stand it. In this one, they really improved upon almost everything. There's a lot more weapons, more players online, more people can play in one match. Everything about the online is basically better. So if I had to recommend Resistance 1 or Resistance 2, definitely Resistance 2. Next is one of my favorite PlayStation 3 games, and it's made by Naughty Dog, and that's Uncharted: Drake's Fortune. I love this game. I couldn't stop playing it. I beat it, and then right when I beat it, I instantly started over and just started playing again. It was so fun. I could not stop myself playing it. The graphics in this are really good. The sounds and the music and the score is really good. The platforming's top notch. Everything in this game just works. It all works together. Explosions look really nice. I don't know why I want to mention that, but like if you throw a grenade and the puff of smoke that comes up looks really nice. So if you're going to be getting these games, go with Uncharted 1 first. Beat it. You'll definitely beat it and you'll have a good time. So next up is Uncharted 2 Among Thieves. One of my favorite games of this console generation. Best graphics I've seen probably ever, I'd say. Super fun online. I know a lot of people don't play this for online, but once you do play the online and get into it, it's a lot of fun. A lot of upgrading and unlocking weapons, buying new stuff, costumes and skins and stuff like that. You can actually play as the Chimera in here. I don't know exactly how, but I saw a guy playing as the Chimera online and I was like, oh my god, that's ridiculously sick. So, Uncharted 2 improves upon everything in the first one. They're very subtle improvements, but it all works perfectly. One of the best games on the PlayStation 3. You gotta get it. You have to get that series, basically, if you own a PlayStation. Next is SOCOM Confrontation, an online-only game. It's not as good as I thought it was going to be. To be honest, I thought it was going to be this really good 32-player online shooter, and it turns out to be kind of mediocre at best. So I wouldn't really recommend this one. Even though it is a tactical kind of game where it's like Gears of War where you get 1 life per round, this just doesn't feel right. So I would say a pass on Confrontation. One of my favorite racing games, MotorStorm. I remember playing the demo more than I actually played the real game. Because when the demo came out, you're at like Target or GameStop or something, you played that demo every time you walked in there because it had such good graphics and it was really one of the only good PlayStation 3 game demos they had there. So for MotorStorm, you can get this really cheap now. It's got really fun online if you got some people to play with. And the campaign or career mode is just racing and all that good jazz. So MotorStorm is a definite recommend for racing fans. Next is a game that I thought I was going to get more into, but I kind of have it on hold right now, and that's Little Big Planet. It's a really good platformer. I was downloading a bunch of people's levels, like there's a Gears of War level, there's God of War, tons of really cool ones, and you can just have infinite amounts of fun with this because you can make your own levels and you can download people's levels. Never-ending stream of them. Super fun. The ones that the developers created too are top-notch. Everything in this works really good. So I think Sackboy is going to be a new PlayStation icon, which he already has become, I guess. But next is probably the highest-rated PlayStation 3 game. That's Metal Gear Solid 4. I've only played about 4, maybe 5 hours of this bad boy, and the reason I stopped is because I want to play Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 3 first, finish all 3 of them, and then get to this. So I've stopped myself. But from what I've played, really good graphics. Cutscenes are really good. The dialogue and all that character interaction is really good. Online's pretty fun too. I've only played a little bit of that, but the Metal Gear Online is really fun. So if you've played the other ones, I'd recommend you go get this. I'm pretty sure you have. If you're a Metal Gear fan, you've already played this one. But if you haven't played any of the Metal Gear games and you don't plan on playing any of them, any 1, 2, 3 or whatever, go with this. I mean, if you're not going to play the other ones, just go straight up for it. And last but not least, Killzone II. I've played through the story mode and it's not very memorable. Like, I can only give you specific events that happened. I can't really tell you about the characters. I don't know any of their names. I don't know any major plot details or anything like that. I just know that I was killing dudes and stuff, and it was fun. And for the online, which is probably the meat of the game and what everyone plays it for and what I played it for, it's pretty good. It's not the best first-person shooter out there, but it is a really good PlayStation 3 exclusive first-person shooter. It is a big time sink. Like, you have to put in a lot of hours just to get unlocks, so they got you by the, you know. But that's Killzone 2. Just a very brief description on it. Good graphics, good sound, and can't wait for Killzone 3. Don't plan on playing that in 3D though. So here's my PlayStation 3 collection. Not very big, but they're all exclusives. I am missing a few games that I really want. Really want Heavy Rain, God of War 3, and the other Ratchet and Clank games. But besides those ones, I think I got almost everything down pat here. Except Valkyrie Chronicles. I really want to get that one too. But thanks for watching, guys, and stay tuned for some more videos.